This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Red Arrow Weapons, 100% made in America. Fight the fight for your Second Amendment rights. Check out redarrowweapons.com today. Hey! I feel like y'all's energy has been lacking lately.
Yours was a lot higher right there.
You know, I feel like y'all are always very judgmental on how every time I come in.
I didn't say it.
Well, you know,
I have allergies.
We have a show that the people listen to get them through the day. So we have a obligation, and I just feel like it wasn't there.
Literally before we started, I was just being an eagle. Caw-caw! I feel like that's a lot of energy.
All right.
There you go.
I'm going to immediately start this episode off. We're going to do this one a little different today. We're going to have some fun. Of course, we're going to talk about all the craziness that is going on. Obama just endorsed Biden. Elizabeth Warren, literally, as we're filming, just endorsed Biden, and her endorsement counts for like 1 and 1/24.
This isn't fun.
Or whatever it matters. But first, I want to talk about a couple things. One, hashtag Dear America poll for this next part. I'm going to make fun of Taylor for a minute because I heard her say something and I'm going to talk about it. Women say
the darndest things.
They do.
Don't we, though?
They say the darndest
You're welcome.
things. All right, but on a serious note, and I know we have a lot of female listeners, so that's why I'm bringing this up.
We love them all.
You better.
And we love each and every
I feel like
one
this
of you
isn't going to go.
ladies. That's the wrong one.
Yeah, it's creepy.
All right. Board
doesn't
malfunction.
stop.
Okay. All right. Seriously. Okay. Taylor was talking about her friend. All right. And I've noticed that women say the word, things women say too much. Girlfriend. My girlfriend did this, and my girlfriend said that. In 2020, are we allowed to misidentify girlfriends as girlfriends when girls might actually have girlfriends?
Yeah.
Imagine if I said,
It's true.
let me tell you what my boyfriend did the other day.
That's not funny. That's serious.
I know, but that's what I'm getting at. So, I mean, why is that? Alyssa,
It's the same
you're a girl.
reason that we say often, I
Same
love
reason
you.
that y'all are allowed to give each other a kiss from time to time?
No, but I tell, no, what? Well, no.
Well, I love
Like a
you.
peck on the cheek.
No.
Like I've
Like
seen
what?
girls do that a lot
What girls
before.
are you hanging out
No,
with?
they'll like give each other a peck on a cheek or something
for
like
sure.
that.
I love you is
Dudes
different.
don't
Well,
do
we're
that.
obviously more affectionate. We're created differently, and that's kind of how we express love. Like we say, I love you. I say, I love you to my best friends all the time.
I
Y'all are
say
like,
that
dude,
sometimes
brother.
to some of my best
Chest
friends that I
bump.
don't talk to that often. Love you, brother. You know, there's
Yeah,
nothing
and Graham,
wrong
you
with
do that too.
But
Yeah,
say
I
love
do
you,
that too.
boyfriend.
Yeah, but oh man, let me tell you what my boyfriend Jake
boyfriend.
said the other day. I'm just asking a
Would
question.
you rather say bestie friend?
I
My
would
bestie
rather you
friend.
say,
Or
hey,
friend.
my friend, or my good friend,
Now,
or
here's
my
a question
best friend.
though. I don't know if this is like a gap in age because
I love how quiet Taylor's actually being right now.
I'm always gonna say girlfriend because that's kind of how we grew up. Like it was always like this is my girlfriend, my best girlfriend, whatever. I wonder though if this generation that's coming up that's younger, if they won't do that.
I grew up saying some stuff that I can't say
But
anymore.
isn't that
No, but this is just as innocent.
isn't that a little bit of like stating the obvious? Like obviously it's a girl, and
No, because
obviously
this is
it's your
women.
friend.
It's
No,
not obviously
no.
a girl.
My friend girl. We
No,
should
'cause
should reverse it.
That's the same thing that this is women and women are catty. So they can probably still talk about people.
My best
Hashtag- I
friend
don't
who's a
know.
girl.
Yeah,
Help me, Taylor.
hashtag Dear America. Should we eliminate the term girlfriend?
No.
If they are in fact not your like romantic girlfriend, I think that we should.
I think
No.
absolutely.
The council votes,
How about get rid
and
of
so it is written.
the word girl as well? Like
It's my
who's
it
to
friend.
say?
My
Yeah.
it friend. He, she.
No. Okay. All right. Moving on. All right. So last night, it's
good talk, though.
me and Alyssa had started Ozarks.
Yeah.
And it's a really good show.
It
You have to fast forward a lot.
You have to fast forward
Do not
through-
watch it with your
Through the
children.
good parts.
through the no,
Jake, like the SEX scene.
No, you have to fast forward through
thinking
the
about the other thing.
aggressive
No, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's disturbing.
LGBTQ
I don't
scenes
wanna talk
in
about
it. Like, whatever. That's in TV
It's
all
part
the
of
time.
reality.
It's whatever.
Just fast forward.
The graphicness funniness of it is
Stop.
not
Just
quite
fast
part of
forward.
reality, I feel like.
Disturbing.
Just talking about it's making Ellisa
it
uncomfortable.
is. Can we move on?
All right,
I'm starting to
so-
pick my nails in frustration.
So, okay, so we decided, you know what, we're going to indulge in our guilty pleasures, and we're going to check out the new Bachelor season that's called Listen to Your Heart.
Listen
Jake,
to your heart.
this,
No, God, please, no.
you
no.
laugh, Jay, that if this had been on when you and Whitney had gone to the
I
Voice,
agree. This
you
is
guys would have won this
totally
thing.
y'all.
Yeah.
I agree.
The whole premise of the show is it's the same premise as Bachelor in Paradise, okay? And if you've never seen Bachelor in Paradise, you're missing out on life-changing things that make you realize that you're not as messed up as you thought you were when you watch these shows.
It makes you feel good about yourself.
It does. It makes you feel really good. So it starts off with 12 dudes and 8 girls. Okay. They always have a mismatch on the gender side because one group gets to pick each week. So the first week they had 12 dudes, 8 girls. The girls got to pick. So 4 dudes went home. All right. And the whole premise is these people are not only looking for love, they're looking for a music deal.
A singing partner.
Yeah,
They do duets together.
a duet
Interesting.
deal.
Yes.
So it starts off. All these people are musicians. Which Jake, you're a musician. I am as well. We are hyper emotional people. Musicians are just emotional train wrecks. That's what they are. That's why they
Tearing up right now.
But that's why they write good music.
Me and Whitney could have won.
So I look at Ellisa. One, for the record, I picked all 4 dudes that were going home.
No
I
big
did.
deal.
No, I did because
did. He's
I
very
am
proud of it.
amazing at picking this stuff. Anyway. I said these people are going to fall in love within like 10 minutes because artistic people in general, they fall in love super fast and they love super hard. Like it just goes with the territory. So it's amazing. I will say it was the most calm opening episode I've seen.
I don't think it'll continue that way, but it was interesting.
Because I legitimately believe that these musicians are like, I mean, you know, they're probably really looking for somebody because all musicians secretly
The
want
fairy
to be
tale.
loved, or they either want that horrific relationship that's going to lead to the
The song
chart-topping
that's epic.
song
Yeah.
later on.
It's all about the song.
So they got
That's
this
right.
dude that looks like he could be John Mayer's illegitimate child in there. They've got a dude that
And he can sing.
was made famous on American Idol because Katy Perry thought he was hot. It was like this viral clip. But I saw that clip. And in the clip, Katy Perry like flirts with him on American Idol, and he's like, "Well, I got a girlfriend," and he brings his girlfriend on it. It's like, "Oh my God, it's so sweet. He loves his girlfriend despite Katy Perry." Well, now he's on this show because he no longer has this girlfriend. And I looked at the list and I said, "That's going to be a storyline."
It will
And
be.
sure enough, in the coming soon things, this girl walks in and it's like, "Oh, I actually know this guy because I'm best friends with his ex."
I think he cheated on her.
Da-da-da-da-da.
I could be wrong, but I thought I heard that he cheated on her.
Anyway, somebody was talking about the fact that Jed Wyatt should have. This was the
Yes,
one he should have gone
you're
on.
so right though. Oh man,
Jed Wyatt was the one that
Misvote there.
Hannah B picked, and it turned out he was only there to advance his music career.
Yeah.
and he
That's
didn't.
right.
So
Anyway, so my review of The Bachelor, as Jake like rolls his eyes and just wants to keep moving,
Yes.
is I give it a solid B plus. It wasn't terrible.
accurate.
I thought it was pretty good.
My boyfriend Corey would probably like
Yeah,
it.
my boyfriend
gosh.
definitely would enjoy that. I should tell him about it. We can eat chocolates and drink wine together.
See, that's things y'all don't
Just
do though.
boyfriends.
We have wine. We say we love
drink
each other.
wine.
You know what? Y'all are
Cabernet
just
Sauvignon.
jealous that you don't live a girl's life.
Well,
Yep.
that might be
Just
partial.
jealous.
okay.
I'm not jealous of that at all.
No. Since before we brought that up, I just want to say I am so glad that I'm not a woman. I look, love you ladies, respect you guys more than anything. I don't want no part of it, man.
Because you couldn't do childbirth.
It
That's why you don't
takes
want to be a woman.
I don't
Yeah.
even
You
like
would
to get my
die.
blood drawn.
I know,
Okay.
I know.
All right. I don't. I will do anything in the world to avoid anything, doctor. No, you guys have too much maintenance that has to go on. You guys are constantly having plumbing leaks. No disrespect there. Taylor's just face palm in the back.
It takes me 10 minutes to get ready.
It takes me 10 minutes to get ready. You know, some days I look ugly as sin. There's not a whole lot I can do about it.
That's why we can say girlfriend and whatever else we want to say. Because you're right. We do
whatever.
have a lot of issues.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
This is America, man. You can say whatever you want. All right.
Not be judged
so
for
we've
it.
got a lot of stuff to talk about today as Jake gives me the first finger to let me know that we have to talk about our sponsors. Tac Pack is the premier monthly subscription box for military, tactical, prepper, and Second Amendment enthusiasts. For just $49.95 a month, you get at least $100 worth of gear, sometimes up to $150 to $200 worth of gear for your boyfriend or girlfriend from different companies like 511, Sons of Liberty Gun Works, Mission First Tactical, Armaspect, and more. They send out AR-15 parts and accessories, everyday carry tools, knives, and gears to keep you prepared for when it hits the fan. Use promo code GRAHAM at checkout to receive a free extra bag of tactical goodies shipped out with your first pack. Don't wait. These are flying off the shelves. Go to tacpack.com and sign up today. That's tacpack.com. Offer code Graham. All right, so one of the biggest things about this whole coronavirus stuff or COVID-19, honestly, I don't care what you call it anymore. It's a big old pain in the butt. One of the things that I said very early on is I said I truly believe, I think life will get back to normal. All these people, they've got Harvard scientists saying that we will have to maintain social distancing and stay-at-home practices until 2022.
Oh, my gosh.
I think it's 2035.
No, this says 2022.
Until the next generation
Now,
comes.
they even say in the article that, of course, they know nothing about economic projections or anything like that. They're simply just saying, you know, for a time for us to come up with vaccines and blah, 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 and this and that. Bunch of freaking idiots, man. There's no way. The truth is there's no way. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. I'm over it at this point. People die. People die of viruses. They die. Somebody even pointed out that this is viral, right? Because it's a virus, right? I mean, am I making that up?
Sounds about right.
Haven't we learned our whole lives that if it's viral, there's not really anything you can do about it anyway? It's just got to run its course?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
you guys said,
so they were just like, what the crap are we waiting on a vaccine for?
Well, I mean, they know what I don't know. I just feel like at this point, numbers have come out and they still don't match up. So this is just common sense now.
Well, back to my point. Several weeks ago, I said there's going to be certain companies that never recover from this. And I've said this for a long time. One of my favorite things to do since I was a kid was go to a movie theater. Okay? It's one of my favorite things. I've always loved going to a movie theater. I'm that weird guy that'll go by himself and do like a double hitter. Like, that's my husband. Ellisa thinks that it's sad. I just don't like people that much. And so, I enjoy going. Anyway, I said, I've said it for a couple of years that I think the movie theater's only got about 10 years left anyway.
No, which is really sad.
Because of all the instant streaming services and now Netflix making movies straight to TV. But since the coronavirus has happened, now they're releasing big hit movies direct to like Apple TV and stuff, and you can rent it for $20, right? So people that have never worked at the movie theater, which I have,
best job ever.
Best job ever. Serious talk though. The movie theater back before the digital days when you had film was the best job ever, okay? You work for like 30 minutes while everybody's going into the theater, then you get like 2 hours off.
And then we got to pre-screen.
And
got to watch the whole movie.
Back when it was filmed,
because it was filmed.
Like a super long movie, like a 3-hour movie would come in like 4 different reels, and you had to connect all the reels, so you had to pre-screen the movie to make sure that the film was okay.
He was working there when I was pregnant with Gage, and I remember going at like 2 a.m. pregnant as a whale to
and they'd have beer,
and watch a movie.
They'd have beer and pizza in the theater watching that stuff.
We'd have it delivered to the back door.
Anyway, not the point. Back on track. So
I like that
movie theaters make $0 off of ticket sales. All right, a lot of people don't know that because all the ticket sale money basically goes straight to the licensing of the rights to play that film in the first place. The movie theater business makes their money for their crack level prices for popcorn and drinks and all that stuff. That's why the drinks and are so astronomical at movie theaters. So when all this stuff started happening, they started pushing movies straight there. I was like, that's it, man. The movie theater business is dead. And
you know what I think it'll
gone.
be replaced with is drive-ins. I think drive-ins.
You think drive-ins will make a comeback?
Absolutely. I hope so.
I think they'll have a little boost for a little while, and then people will be like, man, this is kind of inconvenient, and they'll just go back home.
Well, and like Graham, though, it's the experience. Like, I want to be able to get out, go on a date. What do you can't, it's not the same when all your kids are at the house.
Yeah.
Me and my wife did a drive-in, a few weeks ago, and it's
In
just
Texas?
uncomfortable. It's like laid in the back of her SUV.
No,
and
it's lovely. Well, you didn't
It
do it
was.
right. You
It
didn't
was
get
a
enough
lot
pillows.
of fun, but yeah.
You got to get a beanbag out there.
and your view is limited unless you're in a truck or
You know
something.
what? You're just
but-
full of complaints in your heart today, Jake.
All right.
you're right.
So the reason I say this is the writings are already on the wall. AMC, one of, if not the biggest theater chain, downgraded over minimal liquidity options. All right. So people that own stock in AMC are basically jumping ship because they see the same writing that I see.
Yeah.
We no longer see value in maintaining positions in AMC shares at this point. B. Riley, FBR analyst Eric Wold wrote in a note. So basically people that own major players that own stock in AMC see that with Wall Street judging a Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing for AMC theaters increasingly likely. So AMC is getting ready to file bankruptcy a month and a half into a shutdown.
Yeah.
The stocks have already plummeted 52 cents down to $2.08 a stock in AMC right now theaters. Ladies and gentlemen, you hear it here right now. If you enjoy the movie theaters like me, you better get it in while you can because I don't see movie theaters being around much longer.
Maybe they'll just be like one main one.
Oh, Graham, that will never happen. Tell it to Blockbuster, okay? Just think about it. 15 years ago, if you would have said that Blockbusters and movie rental places would be non-existent, everybody
Sure.
would have been like, oh, that's a
But
bit of
there
a
has
stretch,
to be
don't you
something
think?
besides bowling and like skating. Like, what else do you do in these small towns? You go to the
They're
movies.
called bars.
Virtual
No.
reality bars.
Bars. Sports bars.
Yeah, they have these big warehouses where you and your friends can play like virtual reality games.
Axe throwing places.
Nerd.
I'm
just
well,
kidding.
that's the future. Axe throwing, that's going to die out soon.
Okay,
I don't see that being
You know
popular
what,
for very
Alyssa,
long.
with your hateful
I'm-
rhetoric
I'm for the
towards
movies.
video game players, let's go ahead and get this out of the way right now. It's
do it.
2020. You are the freak because you don't like anything
Taylor said she doesn't
video
either.
games.
Taylor doesn't either.
Me and my buddies last
You're too
night.
busy hanging out with your girlfriends.
That's
Anyway,
right. Having lives and being social.
Well, we won a game of Plunder against 180 people
What's
last
Plunder?
night. It's Call of Duty.
Oh,
We
is that
played
fun?
our butts off
Yeah.
and got first place.
You
And
know
that
what?
means a
Whitney, I'm
lot,
so
all
sorry.
right?
You know what? You're right. I'm a nerd at heart, okay? Have been a long time. I was in the band in high school, all this and that. I've
You were a
played
cute
video
nerd.
games my whole life, and I'm famous, and all the jocks that made fun of me all the time are not. Boom! Yeah. So, bravo to the gaming industry, and thank you.
I don't think it was the
for your
video
help
games that got you here. But
on a
okay.
lot of stuff. Anyway, all right.
I'm sorry. Side note: one of my boyfriends I was playing with
Oh my
last night,
gosh. Stop.
he saved my life with a shield. He gave
Did
me
you
a
say you
shield.
loved him?
He laid
the
his
shield on.
mythical life on the line to save me.
It's important
That
to
was
us.
very sweet, actually.
It was,
Did you
Let's
tell him
see
you loved
here.
him?
of course.
Okay.
Okay, speaking of returning back to normal life, all right, I think around May 1st, you're going to start to see, especially in the less affected states, South Carolina, since it was literally one of the last states to issue any kind of, we still don't even have a shelter in place or stay at home order. It's a home or work order. I think South Carolina will just flip the switch and turn everything back
Yeah,
on.
I agree.
Texas has already said they're fixing to lay it out.
Michigan's
bring it back.
protesting. I just saw on the news.
Michigan, Ohio is protesting because they're ready to get back. California, the first state to lock it all down, has already said they're getting ready to open it back up.
Yeah, their numbers are improving a lot. New York's numbers have flattened out.
Well, but regardless of that, the simple truth is we cannot stay locked
can't not
down.
work.
Right, more people will die.
Yeah, we
If you
have to
don't-
go to work, man. We ran an experiment today. One, I called to check on the PPP status. of the bank, to make sure that Jake still has a job here in, a month or so. No, I'm just kidding. It's more of an experiment at this point, because how am I supposed to give you guys real information if I hadn't even tried to do it? It is a nightmare. Okay.
Yeah.
So I called yesterday because I hadn't heard nothing, like a word. And even on Fox News yesterday, they had some guy that was in charge of all the stimulus checks and the small business loans and stuff. And one of the questions from the people was, I did all the stuff 2 weeks ago, and I haven't even gotten like a confirmation email that they got it, kind of thing.
You probably won't.
And he said straight up, he said, you are going to have to be persistent. You're going to have to call all the time. You're going to have to keep records of when you talk to people and what they said and write it on pieces of paper and all this stuff. Nightmare,
Ridiculous.
ladies and gentlemen. Nightmare. Anyway, it's not easy, okay? So it's not going to be easy to get all this money, and people are realizing that now. So they're like, holy crap, we got to get back to work.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, they did a poll.
Yeah, but the thing is, my thinking, even if you had decent credit and wanted, okay, hey, let me just take out a business loan really quick so I can do this myself. You can't even do that because it's so flooded now by all these other things.
I will say, and I stand corrected.
Ugh.
I stand corrected. Me and my business partner, we talked about the fact of, because a lot of these banks won't even let you apply for the Paycheck Protection Plan or program unless you, already have a bank there, which, I get that to a point. And B, you also have some line of credit or loan with that bank already.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, well, I said one of the easiest things in the world to get right now is a credit card. I stand completely corrected on that.
Really?
It is incredibly difficult to get a credit card. You can file for a credit card. Normally, when you file for a credit card online, either personally or as a bank, what happens? You get like an instant thing, or it says, hey, we need more time. And then within an hour, you get an email
approved.
saying,
Yeah.
that, well,
Your card's
most
on
of
the
the
way.
time, if it takes a little while, you get an email saying that you ain't getting a credit card. All right. And nothing. I mean, nothing.
Yeah.
And then you call to try to figure out where it's at, and they say the wait times are 3 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Kind of stuff.
My
So you
God.
can't even get a credit card right now. Anyway, what I was trying to get at is, so America needs to open back up. Period. America needs to go back to work. So they did a poll. I guess they did this yesterday. I don't know. And I love these polls because they'll say things like about 70% of Americans would not go back to work if the economy opened back up.
Those polls are all bull.
Yeah,
man.
They interviewed 3,300 people. 3,300 people out of 350 million folks.
I feel like that accurately represents Americans.
Well, the sad part is it may be more true than we think. I do. I won't give who it is, but somebody very close to us that literally said they make more money on unemployment right now than they did working.
And they're also adding that, was it $600 extra
full time.
So,
yeah. And so this was something that we talked about this, as opposed to giving money to the individual versus giving it to the employer to give to the individual. Because what's going to happen? You make more money not working than you made when you actually worked. What's the incentive to go to work?
Yeah.
There is none. And so I think the only way that we're going to, if we stay locked down much longer, that's what's going to happen to a large amount of Americans, is they're just going to be like, well, it doesn't make any sense for me to go to work.
Right.
I don't have a college degree. All I've ever done is, waited tables in a restaurant business, or all I've ever, I don't know. And I make more money for me and my family just sitting here. That's the problem that we're going to run into, I feel like. And so the only way to fix that is to just turn it back on. Cut all this crap back off. Sorry, go back to work. Go back to work.
Yeah.
We've opened the economy back up. Your job is there. Fix this freaking PPP thing so employers can keep their employees. Focus on that. Focus on helping the employers that actually pay these people's checks instead of worrying. I don't know. It's weird for me because, of course, you want to get money into the hands of people that need it. But you're putting the companies on a back burner, per se. And it's a fine line there. Because if you put the company on the back burner, then the company is going to have to fire the person that you're trying to help, right? So therefore, wouldn't you want to put the money in the hands of the employer so they can keep the employee to incentivize them to go back to work?
Yep.
I don't know, man. It's a weird thing that we find ourselves in. Alyssa, what do you think?
Concur. Sorry.
I agree.
I agree.
That's Alyssa not really listening to what I was saying.
I was watching
I
Fox
saw
News.
her zoning off to the TV.
Sorry, I was looking at Obama all these people endorsing Biden now. I'm like,
Well, what do you expect them to do?
well, no, I was just watching this. Sorry.
We're trying to work here.
Yeah,
sorry.
we're trying to work.
Look, I have these conversations with Grandma almost every night. I completely agree.
All right.
You know how I feel. Open it back up.
Yep.
So me and Jake were having a conversation the other day, and we were talking about some of the things that are going on in the world that if it had happened 2 months ago, the entire world would have lost their mind. Patriot Mobile! Actually, did I say this last episode about the person that wrote me really upset
Yes, you
about
did.
Patriot Mobile? Okay, well, this is the ad portion for Patriot Mobile. So they basically told me that how dare I say that Verizon and AT&T give to Planned Parenthood and all these other organizations. They do. Anyway, right now you can go to Patriot Mobile. You can invest in a company that actually believes in the things that you believe in. Right now, let their U.S.-based team design your customized family plan for only $25, $35, $45, or $55. Patriot Mobile will never charge you hidden fees, and unlike Big Mobile, they won't send your hard-earned money to Planned Parenthood or gun-grabbing Democrats. Switching is easy. Keep your phone number, bring your own phone, or buy a new one. Join our family of freedom-loving Americans today and get free activation, plus they'll send you a free gift. Call 972-PATRIOT, that's 972-PATRIOT, or visit patriotmobile.com/Graham. Get your customized family plan today for only $25, $35, $45, or $55. 972-PATRIOT, that's 972-PATRIOT, or patriotmobile.com/Graham. All right, now back to what I was saying before Jake
Rudely interrupted.
The-
and
the
focused
deuces.
on business.
That's what boyfriends do.
Yeah, that's what my boyfriend does. Anyway, okay.
Oh, gosh.
So things that 2 months ago would have made the media lose their minds.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Where was Black Lives Matter just the other day when in Philadelphia, white police officers aggressively yanked a black man off of a bus against his will for doing nothing but standing there with the gigantic crime of not wearing a mask?
Oh, well, that's a big one.
Well, but okay. So one, if this had happened 2 months ago, the whole world, it would be another Jussie Smollett type situation. It'd be over everything. It'd be everywhere, talked about. You know how hard it is to get a mask right now? I've tried just to see. Like, we still don't have masks in this entire thing. We haven't had a mask the entire time because we can't get any.
I borrow my daddy's.
Was that picture fake? Have you guys?
No,
learned?
we borrow daddy's.
Oh, okay.
He has masks.
Yeah,
He's not let us take them home.
But even those are like weed eating masks.
Yeah, that's the one I have.
You know what I'm saying?
They're all worthless anyway.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, it's worthless. But the point is, it's hard to get a mask. I went into multiple stores over the weekend to find it. Couldn't. I called Lowe's and Home Depot, and they straight up told me, even if they get a shipment, it's going to the hospitals, which is where it should go. But it's hard to get a mask. So how are you going to rip a man off a bus?
Yeah.
Doesn't even have a mask. You know how hard it is
Exactly.
to get that? And that's what I'm talking about, this tyranny crap, right?
You really have it. You're right, though. It has been very quiet on all the protesting and all these things, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a lot of these people, you know, it depends on what you support. If you're a Black Lives Matter person who thinks that everybody should be wearing a mask, you see him get ripped off the bus, and you're like, well, he wasn't wearing a mask.
Well, here's just some spot hit things that are going on in all this craziness. So we just talked about that guy. Police declare protesting is a non-essential activity in North Carolina. Woman is arrested for failing to disperse at a rally to reopen the North Carolina economy. California churches are suing Governor Newsom over coronavirus social distancing order. COVID-19 checkpoints targeting out-of-state residents draw complaints and legal scrutiny. That's true. That's even happening in Texas. New Jersey man who wanted nothing to do with wearing a mask has been arrested twice. Couple.
Candace Owens, too.
Candace Owens apparently got approached. I didn't watch the video. I just read the title, so I don't know exactly what happened, but she was in a Whole Foods. She didn't have a mask. Apparently, police came and asked her about it, I guess. Couple mistakenly fined for posting old vacation photos during coronavirus lockdown.
Man.
That's some of the things that are going on right this second. And it's just crazy to think that we're there. So I don't know, man, as a freedom-loving conservative patriot and Christian, I'm at a weird point here. And me and Ellisa were talking about this. I don't know if we necessarily agreed or not when we talked about it, but I was like, from a Christian standpoint, okay, they say you aren't allowed to go to church. Okay? You're not allowed. Period. You're not allowed to go. Is that one of those moments? I don't know. Like what?
Pick your battles.
Yeah, but what is the line there? Like what is the line, especially as a Christian from an eternal standpoint? Is that one of those times that the good Lord's going to look at you when you get up there and you got to answer for everything that you did? Is that one of those times
I don't
it was
think
like
he's a judgmental God like that? But here's my thought.
It literally says that you're going to answer for everything.
You also have been anyway. But we already kind of hashed on this, or we talked about this one last one. But someone wrote me on the last one, which is interesting because they are Catholic, and she said for them being able to go to mass and being able to do and talk, and have, it's a very important thing for them to be able to go into the church to ask for forgiveness and different things. I thought that was a really good point because they're not allowed to go see their pope or anything. And she said so it was a really big deal for them. And I hadn't thought about that from the other denominations or whatever.
If it's like required of your religion to go to church, that's different. That's where I think like Baptist, Methodist, all that, you're not required to go to church. And I think God would say, take a deep breath.
After we talked, though, I do feel like they've been a little harsh because I know people are being fined now for just going in social distancing.
Yeah, they're not even allowed to do the drive-in churches.
And even like disbanding protests, like I get it, but still the numbers aren't adding up. This isn't the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. Look, man, look, okay?
Feels controlling
This is
now.
unpopular opinion, but this is all fear. Is what this is, okay? Is there a virus? Yes, obviously there is. Is this virus anywhere as big a deal as they projected? Absolutely not. All the models have been wrong.
Right.
Every time they say this much is going to happen, it is dramatically less than that.
Yeah.
And here's the other truth. We're Americans. Like that's what we are. We are Americans. Fundamentally, who we are as a society, our rights and our privileges and our freedoms as Americans don't go away just because there's a virus.
Right.
Period. They don't go away. You cannot do that. I mean, if we're going to call a spade or whatever, then you got to call it the way that it is. The Constitution is that the Constitution wasn't written and then have an asterisk at the bottom and goes, unless there's a virus.
Right.
But I do feel like there's a lot of dumb people who don't care, like people who are licking the toilet seats. I mean, I get why we
Let
did.
them die then.
Well, no, I get
I'm
why.
sorry. If you want to be stupid like that.
I get why we did what we did in the beginning. But again, it's been over 2 weeks. We're watching the numbers drop. It's not been accurate. And so I don't understand quite now why it does feel very controlling now.
I hope people realize how much China controls our lives. And talking about an asterisk with unless there's a pandemic, China had that in their trade deal with Trump a couple weeks before this all broke out. Unless there's a worldwide pandemic, we'll follow the rules. And a few weeks later, this is China's fault. And I think
of course it is.
They owe the world
and the World Health Organization. We'll get in that in a minute.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Which Trump just cut the funding to.
All I'm saying is this is where I'm at. Okay, this is me. I realize that we differ on this, not only from the listeners and even in this room a little bit. It doesn't matter. It does. Like I love this whole thing of. Here's the thing that really honestly kind of pisses me off is there's a battle right now in the news on whether the president has the power to reopen the economy or the governors have power to. At the end of the day, none of those mofos have power over nothing.
Right.
We vote those people in. we have say so over when the economies open back up and when we're allowed to go places and when we're allowed to stand in spots. Oh, how quickly we forget who the real bosses are in charge of this stuff. And that's the thing that scares me the most. These people don't control us.
Right.
They don't tell us what to do. They don't tell us where we can go. They don't tell us if we're allowed to go to church. They don't tell us we're not allowed to protest. They don't tell us that we can't get on a bus if we don't have a mask on. What are we doing? Like I understand. Hey, it's been over a month. We've all played the game for over a month. Okay. Collectively, as a people of America, 80% of us have played along and we've said, okay, for a month and a half, we're going to do this thing. We're going to play this out. We're going to see if we can slow this down. Okay. All the projections have been wrong and it's not near as serious as we thought it was. Cool. We want to go back to work.
Yeah.
Open the freaking bars back up. Open the restaurants back up. Let us take our kids back to the park. This is getting insane.
And if we all did it all at once, all went back to work, who's going to stop us?
Exactly. That's my point. So what we're getting at here is what has already happened is the government, the state government, the police, all the above. And we love the police here. I love the police and support the police more than most people I know. But there's a lot of misinformation that's going on right now. Okay? The governor is an elected position. Therefore, the governor's power and authority is only as much as the people allow it to be so.
Mm-hmm.
You don't tell us that we can't go to work. You just don't. You just don't. You can't go into a business owned by a taxpaying American that taxpaying Americans work there and say, if you don't close your door, we're going to arrest every single one of you. That's not America at the end of the day. That is not America. You can't tell Christians, you just can't, whether you agree with it or not. You can't tell a free American they are not allowed to go to a church and worship. You can't do that. You can recommend, hey, that's probably not a good idea, but you can't send police to go and make sure that they don't. The Department of Justice just sided with the Mississippi churches over this. In Kansas, the freaking state troopers were putting nails on the road and trying to keep people from going into the drive-in services and stuff. You can't do this.
No.
And that's what I'm trying to get at here. So in the grand scheme of things, are we constitutionally based or are we emotionally based? Because right now we are emotionally reacting to what's going on.
And I think there's a balance of that. Like, yeah, they shouldn't be allowed to prevent us from doing that, but then also we should think maybe we should just chill for a little bit.
And we did. It's been a month and a half. We chilled.
But
we chilled.
We still know very little about this. I mean, who knows? We all go back to work and there's another surge and another 50,000
There's
people
always,
die.
but that's the thing. There's always going to be a surge. If we shut everything down,
Right.
Of course it's going to slow down. Of course, pollution's going to slow down in major metropolitan areas. And of course, if we turn it back on, there's going to be surges in it.
Right.
We are delaying the inevitables. What's going on right now is not real life.
Mm-hmm.
It's not real world. We're living in a fantasy la-la land right this second.
Right.
And we're delaying the inevitable.
I mean, what if they do this for a mass shooting next? Like there's a mass shooting and they lock everybody in their homes.
What if they
for
come
a
out
month?
with some crazy stuff and said, you know what? At the end of the day, it's just cheaper this way, and it saves everybody a lot of money, or it saves the states a lot of money, and it keeps the spread of infections down from home to home. We're never going to open physical schools back up again. It's all online learning now. No, but I'm being for real.
I think we'd adapt to it. You know, it'd be unfortunate.
I think we're going down a rabbit. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah,
but
it is a rabbit hole. But
2 months ago, if I would have said the entire world is going to shut down, you won't be allowed to go to church. You'll get fined if you do. They'll handcuff you if you're playing dodgeball with your daughter in the park.
It's been hard to imagine. That's for
you
sure.
would have said, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, don't tell me that some crazy stuff isn't going to happen. All I'm saying is we just I don't know, man. I think that we are slowly getting to a point where we need to stand back up for what our actual rights are.
I think people are starting to do that too.
Yeah, but if the people don't reassert who has the real power, then what's going to end up happening? That's when you end up having these situations to where people refuse to leave. And then you have these escalation situations happening because, what has to happen for us to decide for it to get to that point? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If everybody, I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to get no Alex Jones thing going on here. I'm just saying that our rights are not up for debate, even during a pandemic. Speaking of education, from home, mind you, man, what a great time for Ashford University's online program right now during a pandemic. A lot of us all struggle from the same thing. Life got away from us. We got busy. We had kids. We had to go to work, and we stopped going to college. Ashford University's online bachelor's and master's degree programs allow you to learn on a convenient and flexible schedule. At Ashford, expert faculty.
Looks like you need Ashford.
I need Ashford University. University, what is wrong with me? Teaches you real-world skills from real-world experience from the comfort of your own home. You can pursue a degree to help you have a brighter future in one of Ashford's 60-plus programs like business administration, healthcare administration, and psychology. With 24/7 access to your classroom, daily support, and financial aid available, Ashford gives you the tools you need to keep climbing. Education is personal at Ashford University. Your success is their success. There's no fee to apply or standardized testing required to enroll. Do it today. Go to ashford.edu/Graham. That's ashford.edu/Graham. ashford.edu/Graham. All right, let's lighten it back up. Tiger King Joe Exotic is in talks with a broadcast radio studio to do his show from prison.
Yes.
Nice.
I would subscribe. I'm just going to be honest. I would listen to it every day just to hear what Joe Exotic had to say about everything.
Yeah, I'd subscribe too. That sounds pretty awesome.
Absolutely. I will not miss that.
I still haven't seen the new
We haven't
show.
either.
We hadn't either.
I got Westworld to finish.
I heard that Joe Exotic's not in it.
Boo.
And so I kind of don't want to watch it unless he's not in it. All right. On a serious note, we've gotten long-winded today, but man, as much as we've talked about COVID-19 and everything that's happening around it, I just felt it's important to remember, hey, I mean, we're Americans, man. This is crazy.
Yeah.
What's starting to happen. But speaking of things that are crazy but don't matter, Obama.
That's right.
We have to talk about this before the show ends. Biden. Obama has officially endorsed Joe Biden for president of the United States. I think that this is an absolute embarrassment to Joe Biden, and here's why. This man was Obama's vice president for 8 years.
Yep.
And Obama did not endorse him until there were literally, or as Chris Prager would say, literally.
There were
literally
no one left.
Nobody left.
Parks and Rec, if you didn't know.
Parks and Rec. If you haven't seen it, man, it's a hilarious
It's literally a great show.
Literally. He didn't say literally. He says literally.
Literally.
The best thing. Jake Stone, you are literally my best boyfriend. All right. Anyway, all right. So Joe Biden and Obama are apparently not boyfriends because Obama waits until the absolute last minute. So much so, not the last minute to endorse him among other candidates.
Mm-hmm.
There are no other candidates.
Right.
So there's literally no one else to endorse except for Joe Biden.
I bet whenever Bernie dropped out and he realized Biden was the only candidate left, Obama was like, ugh, and rolled his eyes. He's like, turn the cameras on.
There are reports coming
Joe.
out that I don't know how real they are. I haven't had a chance to look into them, but reports are coming out that back in 2016, Obama told Biden not to run because he'd embarrass himself.
I remember that. Yeah.
And so I don't know how real that is. I got to look into it.
Joe,
but I
you're
just
losing
read
it.
Yeah. Whoa, man. You're getting nervous. That's a Biden clip. Anyway, okay. His message was seen by millions of people because it's Obama. And I love that he says that Biden is the most knowledgeable, like witty, crafty, morally sound person that the nation needs right now. Have you watched Joe Biden lately? Man. Have you listened to the things that come out of his mouth? He's talking about kids rubbing his hair on his legs and sitting in his lap. He's talking about pulling straight razors on corn pop.
You know what that sounds like to me, though? Like when you have to endorse someone and you don't know what to say.
Right.
So you like, it's like.
He's a great guy.
Basically like, I know he's not the man for the job. So let me see how I can speak about my VP.
Even Joe Rogan compared it to Mike Tyson, Trump fighting a 3-year-old.
Oh,
Joe Biden.
It is going to be.
Man.
It's not even a fair fight. Like, it's brutal.
Yeah.
Well, and then let's
going
also
to
talk
just
about
demolish
how quickly Sanders bent the knee to the DNC as well.
And I almost felt bad. He's so pitiful.
Yeah, basically, Don Jr. put a meme up. Hang on, let me find it.
I'm once again.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Let me read it all to make sure we get it right. Oh, it goes, everyone's seen the Bernie campaign scene around. I am once again asking for your financial support.
Yep.
Well, this one says, I am once again asking you to support the same candidate I spent a year telling you not to trust.
Yes.
It just shows how crooked the whole system is.
Yeah, for sure.
That's how easy they flip from being so passionate about communism and all that to Joe Biden's actually cool. I
He's
like
a good
Joe
guy.
Biden.
I think that here's one thing interesting that I thought is we talked about this last episode that AOC hadn't been approached by the Biden campaign. Well, AOC has now come out because we talked about this as well. Biden's sexual assault allegations. AOC has actually come out and said, yeah, we legitimately need to look into that. Which is interesting. It's very rare that I agree with something AOC says.
AOC is way more extreme than Joe. So she's not thrilled about this either.
No.
She was behind Bernie all the way.
Yeah.
And I think she's realizing that, crap, we need a full movement in our party. That's what she is a part of, is changing the Democratic Party to be a more radical left kind of party.
It's all about, but again, it's not to me about the country or the well-being. It's all about power. I don't want to lose my power. So what can I do? Okay, let's investigate, Biden. Or, hey, I don't want to lose my power. So I'm going to endorse him, even though I know he's not a great candidate, because I am this person, elevated this status like Obama. I was president. I don't know. It's grimy. I don't like it.
I think they'll make a new party. Like
all 12
American
people
Socialist Party.
in the Democratic Socialist for America group said they won't support Biden.
Yeah.
Well,
he's not,
do you blame him?
well, he's just not there.
I don't know.
Literally, he's not there.
You're saying literally
I'm
a lot.
sorry. You got me thinking it. You have too.
Well, because I was making fun of
Sorry.
it. Anyway.
But for reals, he's not there.
For reals. For Rizzo. No, Biden's a moron. Bernie Sanders sucks. And Obama is perhaps one of the worst presidents, if not the worst president. Well, no. I mean, Nixon was pretty bad. Anyway.
I don't think so. I mean, Obama did way worse than what Nixon did.
That's true. Obama, look, man.
Spying on a U.S. citizen.
Obama was well, yeah, that's true.
I mean,
Obama
Nixon
did do that.
How about
put a
he
little
wasn't the best of
microphone in a
presidents?
hotel.
Yeah, Obama's just, I don't even have words for how horrible the Obama administration was. And, I would just say that any rational human being, especially an American, should just look at the state of the economy during the Obama years.
What magic wand do you have that you're going to wave to bring these jobs back?
Yeah. I mean,
Trump is the magic wand.
It's taken a global pandemic to get Trump's economy anywhere close to what it was with Obama. And I believe as soon as we turn this stuff back on, it's going to skyrocket back up. We're going to see astronomical. It will go down in the history books. Astronomical booms in the economy after this. Anyway.
I got some good news for the day.
Yay.
So this is a utility worker, and he's singing to this elderly woman in quarantine.
And why?
It's like elderly folks
That's precious.
singing a gospel song.
See, I wish I could sing. I feel like I would use my gift. You should use your gift of singing, Jake, and go sing around town.
Yeah, go sing around town. We'll ride you
With a
around the
mask.
back of the truck with a megaphone and then let you just
Should it be great?
just croon everybody.
People would just like cover their ears if I tried that. So
I love for Jake to hear me try to hit the high notes in the office. All right. Anyway, that's it, guys. This episode, we try to bring you stuff not coronavirus related all the time, but it's hard
Sorry.
these days. I want to do something. I'm trying to think of something. Once they lift all this crap, man, I'm thinking about somewhere, not in the city where we live, but maybe in the city next to us or something. Maybe we schedule like a live event to film this show and invite as many people who want to attend kind of thing. And we do like, I don't know, some kind of end of quarantine special
I like
Yeah.
it.
kind of thing.
We're filming it live. Changed my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Anyway, the point is to be able to hang out with you guys and just, I don't know. I think that would be
People.
fun.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
So at some point, we're going to start thinking about that because that would be really cool. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. My book is still on pre-order, America316.com to go get your copy now. Jake, where can they find you?
On Instagram at producer_Jake.
Alyssa?
At Ellisa Allen on Instagram and YouTube, and Hey America, which drops on Tuesday, podcast is out.
And I am Graham Allen. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Dear America podcast. Tell one friend you know about the show. Subscribe, give us 5 stars, leave us a review. It helps us in the ratings. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode, and we'll see you again next time.
See ya.
Bye.